It's kind of love, but in a more, it's not the initial, it's not about initial attraction to someone you love. It's about knowing that you love them and then figuring out how to make that work. And on top of that, having impossible problems thrown on top of you and in between you, which you have to overcome.
Is it still challenging to play Edward for the fourth time?
Yeah, this one was, I think, more challenging than the last. I kind of felt the same on this one than I did on the first one, because they were just... For one thing, after you played the same character for a while, then suddenly you have to do some vaguely similar things, which you have to figure out new ways of presenting, but also totally new scenarios, which you can't fall back on sort of things you've done before or easy options. This is the first one I've been nervous about. There were like a ton of scenes in it which I came to work nervous, and
really,
and the second and third ones I never really felt nervous at all. So,
but why this time?
Because I think you with Edward you kind of get into a habit of his movement and stuff. It was always kind of similar. There's a rhythm there which you could just sort of slip into, and this one, there were scenes where you couldn't use his normal characteristics, and so you kind of had to reinvent stuff. But at the same time, it was kind of scary because you didn't want to suddenly be playing a brand new character. I think he wasn't afraid to make it sentimental again. This one feels the most to me like the first one. I mean, it was a kind of, scenes like the wedding. I mean, he made that such a sort of little like a fantasy wedding, and you could have done it in a more grim way, or you could kind of show that there's going to be danger later on, but he was like, no, I just want to do the perfect wedding because everyone wants to see the perfect wedding, and he did stuff like that, which was really sweet. And also his sense of humor is very much throughout the movie as well. And the Twilight movies, I mean, there's not that much humor in them a lot of the time, and kind of Bill really sort of pushed it, I think.
How does it feel to get towards the end of this huge saga?
I don't know yet. I mean, I've got another 2 years at least where I know I'm going to have to be talking about Twilight a lot and doing a lot of Twilight related stuff. But yeah, it's kind of nice in a way because I've been having to fit in other movies in between Twilight movies, and so I've been rushing all the time up until 2 months ago. Basically, I've just worked constantly, and now there's a little bit of time to sort of think about what you're going to do next. It's kind of a nice feeling. It's finished, and I went straight onto Cosmopolis when I finished this. Yeah, and it's I think it's going to be pretty incredible, that movie.